and defunding of CIRNAC and IS
260. Okay. Oops, hang on a second. So that's the dismantling of the ministries and all related services and authorities of the Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs Canada and Indigenous Services Canada. Dismantled and defunded. One must remember that the territories are under the direct jurisdiction. You do not have a premier, under the jurisdiction of the kingdom. And so any cactustocracy that is happening up north, rest assured, the Queen will have a knowledge of it. And any ministries that were misused, that have embezzled funds, misdirected, misused, mismanaged funds, that's what the forensic audit is for.
So, Your Royal Majesty, we're going to start off with Her Excellency Sally Wong, and
Okay.
it'll be Her Excellency Gina Reed and Maria Magdalena. I believe all of the knowledge will be.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Excellencies and Your Royal Majesty, Queen Romana I. I've just written down here what I recall Your Majesty saying, that the funds that were going up to the territories were given to the chiefs who were in charge, and many, but not all, the funds were shared with only their immediate family and friends, and some of the local people may not even have been aware of such funding being available to them, because the chiefs in charge were controlling it. So unless it was told to them, the local people, unless the chiefs told them or their leaders told them, the people never got the funds that were given to them. And now under natural law, all services and programs, Your Majesty has said, in the Kingdom of Canada will be the same right across the Kingdom of Canada. And Your Majesty has already appointed Kingdom of Canada ministries for many of these ministries and services that have been appointed by Your Royal Majesty. That's what I recall about you saying the problems with the Indigenous services. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Her Excellency Gina Reed.
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. I took away from this, when I read through this royal decree, what I took away was the special interest groups that were created to divide we the people and manipulate the natural resources for the elites' enrichment and the population's control. And Her Royal Majesty, Queen Romana Didulo I, has said it many times. We are one, we are family. Every national within the Kingdom of Canada is Indigenous with equal rights under natural law. And no one was here before water, land, or sky, and cannot claim the land or resources for themselves. They belong to all. And looking at this royal decree, that's how I saw this royal decree, and that's what I focused on. Thank you, Your Royal Majesty.
Well done, Excellency Gina.
Her Excellency Maria Magdalena.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I would like to say something about this in general. The basis of natural law is that all laws, decrees, are equally effective for all people. They apply equally to everyone. In maritime law, it was the other way around. The privilege gave themselves all the rights and enslaved the others. So injustice prevailed, and injustice leads to division. You can pass a law that oppressed a certain group or privileged a certain group. Think of the politicians who paid themselves huge salaries and didn't have to pay taxes. The diplomats who were not allowed to be checked at the borders, who could not be tried in the host country, except for murder. But we the people were jailed if the parking tickets was not paid. In natural law, there are no groups that are favorites or disfavorites. We are one human family and are all born with the same rights. When the Canadian government convented the Crown-Indigenous relations and Northern Affairs Canada Act in 2019, it certainly did not do so out of pure charity. There were probably other interests at stake. Thank you for your Majesty for this decree. Thank you.
You're welcome. And speaking of natural law, I will announce here today that under natural law, I'm about to release a royal decree. It's already sitting at my other office. Under natural law, no one can be arrested unless and imprisoned unless they have been tried and convicted. Meaning, your police force cannot go and arrest someone based simply on a complaint. And especially majority of the time, it is unverified official complaint. You cannot imprison someone unless they have been tried and convicted. You cannot go to someone's house and extract them and handcuff them unless they have been charged, they have been tried and convicted. That's under natural law. Otherwise, you're simply kidnapping the individual. That means the judges, the police officers, the lawyers will lose revenue from the rotating arrest, catch and release, because that's what that was all about. But what had been done to we the people, having someone in their corporation vehicle, handcuffed individuals, take them into a private cell and hold them there for up to 72 hours. And then to be presented to a judge to have a plea. Well, that's actually kidnapping and coercion. You have someone in a handcuff. They have not been tried. They have not been convicted. And yet you put a handcuff on someone and you keep them in a cell, in a jail for 24 hours to 72 hours. But they have not yet been convicted of any crime. So what have you done? Kidnapping and coercion. You take them to present to a judge and you tell them, make a plea, guilty or not. Another layer of kakistocracy, and the royal decree, as I said, is already sitting at my desk. Okay.
I would like to note in Section 5 of this decree that all the surface and authorities pertaining to the, oops, wait a minute, I lost my spot. Okay, I found it. To indigenous government councils or bands, the tribunal government on reserves, that's all being disbanded. has been disbanded, and that it is going underneath the Ministry of Family, Ministry of Children, Ministry of Children and Youth, Ministry of Seniors, Education, Transportation, Wellness, and Housing. So it's going under these ministers, which are established under natural law. If I can quickly share with you an experience I had, this was, I was at a rally, not that I'm promoting rallies, but I was at a rally, and the Native American people were camping on the grounds of the Parliament building to make their point of wanting change. And there was 2 camps. And being the person I am, I decided I wanted to go speak with them and see what was in their heads. So I went to first one camp. I was very coldly received. And this was young adult age range that were there. You felt very confrontive, opposing energy there. And I sensed it was from their mindset of that they had been programmed and adopted through years. And then, so I went, okay, clearly this is not where I must be. So I went to the other camp on the other side. There I was warmly received, and I had a great conversation with the chief there. And I really found it very interesting. There was a young man there, the same age range as the other camp I'd gone to. And he had such respect. And so I share this for we the people, we different nationalities, we have received different ways of thinking through, whether it was programmed from the race, whether it was programmed from television, from wherever it was all programmed from. We really need each of us to look inside of ourselves and realize what we need to let go of. Thought processes that are not beneficial to the society we want to build, that the society we're going to. So each must do their inner work to correct those things that are not serving individuals, not serving communities as a whole, and really focus on truly where we go one, we go all. Color of skin doesn't matter. That is irrelevant. We are all Homo sapiens, and it's important we unite. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Okay, who's next?
I don't have any other hands, so there's Michael Hawkins.
Okay, His Excellency Michael Hawkins, and then we'll go to the next royal decree.
Your Excellency Michael Hawkins, you'll need to mute yourself. Thank you.
Your Excellency Michael Hawkins, you need to unmute yourself. There you go. Okay. Okay, we'll go to Her Excellency Deborah Gregg. There seems to be a delay in transmission from His Excellency Michael Hawkins. Okay.
Go ahead, Your Excellency Deborah Gregg.
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. I have worked with the fallout of the Indigenous services programs for 45 years. And I can honestly say that across the country, I've seen nothing but oppression of the First Nations people as a result, and the disempowerment of the First Nations people as a result of these very oppressive and segregating programs. And I congratulate you on recognizing that everybody needs to be empowered in the Kingdom of Canada and around the world in order to function efficiently. And this is a step in the right direction. And thank you for this royal decree.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Excellency Michael Hawkins.
Okay, His Excellency Michael Hawkins.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm sorry, everyone. My Wi-Fi has been cutting in and out for some reason. This royal decree I would like to touch on is aimed at eliminating division, eliminating segregation, oppression, and corruption within the Kingdom of Canada and around the world, and outlines a series of sections detailing the dismantling of various government services, authorities, and funding previously allocated to Indigenous governments and organizations, and corruption from the select few, and prohibits the continuation of financial allocations to these individuals, the select few. And additionally, the decree calls for the arrest and charging of various individuals, and as Her Royal Majesty has stated, upon conviction. And it highlights a comprehensive restructuring of financial allocations, and would like to add that it is retroactive January 1, 1775. Thank you, Your Majesty.
You're welcome. Okay, anyone else would like to speak to that, or we can go His Excellency Herbert Cerami. Keep it to 1 minute.
Okay, I'll keep it to 1 minute. This Royal Majesty 260 Royal Decree, where it says nationalization of highway ETR in the province of Ontario of Kingdom of Canada. Each and every kingdom, it has its own designation problem, which they cause the problem, and then tomorrow they will come and say they are fixing the problem. In our kingdom, we find that
Hang on. Which 1 moment. We're on Royal Decree what?
It's not 260.
260. Yes?
That nationalization of the highways, which were built by the Treasury.
No.
No.
We moved to the next Royal Decree already. The Indigenous, the defunding of the Indigenous. Are you reading
Defunding of the Indigenous.
Are we not on that one?
I left myself away now.
Hang on. Yes, 260, yes? Which one is he speaking of? Which royal decree are you speaking of now, Your Excellency? We have moved to 260, Royal Decree 260, which is the Indigenous, Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs defunding, the Indigenous Services of Canada, defunding and dismantling. So that's 260.
Okay.
Are we on the same?
Or I misprinted my royal decree when I'm doing my own research on my own. Then the funding of inequality, so that royal decree can able to ensure that everybody benefits in the national treasury in gold and silver standard, so that we can defund all these corporates who are controlling their people because of they use the money for power.
We are speaking now of the defunding of the Indigenous services in Northern and Ministries.
Oh, Ministries.
Yes, for the Northern Affairs.
Okay. Oh, then I'm a little bit lost, but I will be found. But the royal decree it's a good royal decree for we the people to have more power over the upper hand. then I can say thank you. I'll go to rectify my royal decree.
Okay, probably if it was typed, moved, the copy and paste, or somehow when it was saved. Yes, so going back to Royal Decree 260, which is the defunding of the Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs Canada, the Indigenous Services Canada, the defunding and dismantling, and all of its ministries and the related agencies and departments. So this really had to do, okay, someone wanted to speak to that, or I will speak to that.
Her Excellency Sally Wong.
Okay, Her Excellency Sally Wong.
Thank you, Your Royal Majesty. Finally, we have something that's going to be done. And it's in number 2 again, what His Excellency Michael Hawkins said. You're eliminating the division in Canada. We've been so isolated from them, and you're going to bring us all peace and prosperity and a oneness. Thank you for this royal decree, Your Royal Majesty.
You're welcome. Yes, division and segregation. Meanwhile, also it was a double whammy, because the groups that were identified as indigenous were being used by the foreign entities to control the natural resources of we the people of the Kingdom of Canada. They were told that they were the selected special groups and were entitled to the rights and privileges, and not everyone else in the Kingdom of Canada. Meanwhile, as I said, when water, soil, air, all the animals, all the vegetations, the ecosystem created by the Grand Master Creators were all here before any of the indigenous, the special groups that called themselves indigenous at that time. Because the CIAs and the United Nations special interest groups created and concocted the wordings. And so then it was then propagandized and sold to the entire world that only a select few of any country had the rights to the natural resources of their country. So I have eliminated that. I have removed that. As I said, unless you are a clone, you're entitled as a natural human being, blood flowing. You're entitled to the natural resources like everyone else in the Kingdom of Canada. You are indigenous to this planet, huh? Not just a select few. But then again, as I said, the narrative really was used to benefit those who were of foreign interest groups, special select few, who were wanting to keep control of the natural resources of we the people. Meanwhile, they segregated. If you went, as I traveled right across the kingdom, with the exception of going to the north, when you travel across the kingdom and you pass by the so-called reserves, you will find, not all of them, but majority, 99.99% of the reserves are living below poverty line, with the exception of their chiefs that have millions in their bank accounts and have 3-5 trucks, brand new trucks every 6 months in their driveways, and own all the businesses in the reserve, and no one else is allowed to own a business except them and their families. And the rest of the people living in the reserve don't have clean drinking water, don't have electricity, don't have infrastructure, and living in dilapidated homes. Where did the billions of dollars go? trust accounts, eh?